So we got something that I didn't find on Twitter, which I found was quite interesting. I actually got recommended this randomly on my YouTube homepage, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Right? What is this? Because this is pretty wild here, and that is CDawg. Now, if you don't know who CDawg is, he's a really good streamer, content creator. He does a lot of stuff with all sorts of people, a lot. He's got a pretty prominent name, at least I would say a decent name, and it's pretty wild, right? It's pretty wild. And he lives in Japan right now, right? He lives in Japan. So, so this popped up on my home feed on YouTube randomly, and I thought, what the heck is this? The title is CDawg got an offer from Kick, but there is a catch. So let's take a look and listen to this and see what he has to say here, shall we?
Actually, yeah, my Twitch contract is over now. I have actually no idea what I can and can't say. I'll talk about stuff that I do know. And if it's not, I'm sure I'll get an angry worded message from Twitch. But also, I have no obligations to Twitch now, so. Did you get $1 million? I did not get $1 million deal. It wasn't even close. 2 million? Okay, it wasn't. Twitch had kind of done it so that a lot of the deals were structured, and I don't know about everyone else's, but mine was definitely, it kind of disincentivized me to promote subscribing, which is why a lot of the streams I would tell you, like, don't sub. Now I get 70-30, because, the Partner Plus.
Why? I wonder why, right? I wonder why. Can anybody think of anything like what would be in a contract that would kind of like have him incentivize people not to sub, right? What would ever be in a contract that would incentivize against that? Maybe Twitch was taking more percentage, so he was just like, don't sub to me, man. You're just giving Twitch more money, right? Or something like that. I wonder, like, I'm very curious as to see like why that seems very weird. I'm curious. Obviously he's not going to expand more on it, but that is fascinating. Only thing I can think of is that it was still 50-50 and Japan has more tax than the US, so he'd be making far less for all that effort. They increased the price. You don't know. No. This is old. We're not there yet. Listen, this is all in order of events. I organize my news in order of events of how they happen. Okay, this is old. This is a while ago. This is a little while ago now. 2 weeks ago. All right, this is before that. We're not there yet.
Before I was getting 50-50, so we didn't renew the contract, mainly because Twitch's policy is to now just not do any deals at all.
Right.
I like streaming on Twitch.
Which is true. They don't. Twitch went away from giving out contracts, right? They went away from it. They don't want to give out money to give out contracts. And we're going to get into that with some more news later on here. But let's take a listen here, because this is where things start to get interesting.
Twitch. A part of me really does want to try YouTube and try and get it rolling, because I think that the CDawg channel makes sense for streaming. I like Twitch a lot. Kick I wouldn't do. Kick did offer me money, but it was weird. I was offered some terms. What I will say, Chad, is the terms in this contract, from my understanding, would have been illegal in my current country. You could probably figure out what it is they wanted me to do. What was in the contract? Facebook. Okay, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, so he goes on to say this.
For streaming, I like Twitch a lot. Kick I wouldn't do. Kick did offer me money, but it was weird. I was offered some terms. What I will say, Chad, is the terms in this contract, from my understanding, would have been illegal in my current.
So basically, yeah, so he said, oh, Kick offered me money, right? Kick offered me a contract. But from my understanding, now again, obviously, I don't think he's got any, legal. I don't know how much legal experience he has with reading a contract and stuff, and it really depends on how labeled out it was or whatever. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Obviously, there's some more context here. We don't know fully what's going on, but again, from his understanding, anyways, the way that he interpreted it, the way that he took it, was that what Kick wanted him to also do is illegal in his country, and he lives in Japan, and gambling is pretty much illegal in Japan, or at least that kind of gambling is illegal in Japan. So he's technically not even allowed to do that, right? And this again goes back on to pushing that narrative. Again, Kick is terrible. Kick is really, really bad.
You can pretty figure out what,
I mean,
what it is they wanted me to do.
you can probably figure out what it is they wanted me to do.
What was in the contract.
And look at the chat. They all know what that means. Gambling, right? All of these things, gambling. So that is again, you know, not helping the case. And you know what's crazy here? You know what's wild? You know what's wild? Because I've talked about this before, all right? And we've talked about this with Andrew before on a podcast, and I was like, okay, so kick and stake and gambling goes hand in hand, okay? So it seems like what is your response? Like I asked him, like, what is your response to a lot of these creators getting signed to kick and having and gambling? Okay. And you know what? His response was something along the lines of like, well, you know, there's the kick contract, and then they can get the stake contract if they want, because stake is like right next door, is basically along the lines of what he said. But this right here is kind of weird, right? Because not only did they not do the research before they sent him this idea here, right? They didn't even do the research of like where he's located, right? So like, in my opinion, obviously this is like very, very, very picky, but I mean, if you're trying to sign a creator, you should at least know a little bit about them, right? And then like, obviously I don't think it's that difficult to figure out that he's in Japan. There's a lot of stuff that tells that he's in Japan. And then you look up the laws and regulations for that, right? But the fact that it wasn't the way that it was told to us was that, oh well, you have the kick contract, and then if they wanted to gamble, well, they could get the gamble thing, right? If they wanted to, right? It's of course there. This again, we don't know the full story behind it. We don't know all the context, but the way that he explains it here is that it was the fact that it was even brought up is insane, right? The fact that it was even brought up was insane, right? The gambling aspect, because one, that tells you that they didn't do their research. If this was an official kick contract or whatever, kick talk or whatever, kick obviously didn't do their research before talking to him. Okay, about a bit about him and stuff like that. They did not do their research. Second of all, it seems like rather than it being like, oh hey, listen, by the way, if you wanted a gambling contract, we could get that for you. The way that he explained it, and again, like I said, we don't fully know. It seems like it was like, oh hey, here's the deal, but we also have this in here too. So if you want to make some more money, gamble, right? Gamble, which was not the original thing that we were told by Kick, right? To just don't worry about it because it's completely separate and creators have to ask for it. Now, this is like Kick incentivizing it and pushing it, right? It's pretty bizarre, but I figured I got this randomly recommended on my YouTube, and I thought this was amazing to talk about because it's like, dude, this is wild, right? This is wild because it doesn't, obviously he knows that he can't really gamble. He's in Japan, right? He can't gamble. So obviously he would never, my point is that he knows that he can't gamble in his current country. Okay. He knows that. So he isn't going to ask for a gamble deal. He's not going to ask for one. It seems like Kick offered him one and was like, yo, hey, come to Kick. Here's money. Gamble too. Right? Which again does not help the view of Kick. Kick has like always wanted to really try to be like, oh, oh well, we're separate from Stake, and Stake, it just kind of exists here, which that is true. But then you also have the other aspect of Kick pushes gambling a good amount. I mean a good amount, right? There's been things brought up about this before and all that, and just pretty wild. It's just pretty wild, crazy. What the heck's going on here? Okay, it's insane. All right, it's nuts. It's insane. It's crazy. And again, this kind of stuff does not help Kick's view. Kick's, man, I cannot express to you. I've talked about this 1,000 times on my stream. Kick's view to the public eye is terrible. If you talk to anybody about Kick, it is terrible, brother, man. My brother, dude, my brother who barely knows much about this stuff at all said, you know, I did some research into you know, Kick and what you stream on, and he's like there's a lot of bad stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff, right? Like even my brother who doesn't do anything with this stuff, right? He does something completely different. He's looked into the platform a little bit, and all that he's found is terrible stuff. So his view on the platform is also there's not a lot of great stuff that goes on in the platform. And that's from an outsider, man. That's from an outsider of the like, dude, it's crazy, man. The public view of Kick is so bad. And you know what? It's not getting any better. It's really not getting any better. As time goes on, there are more and more and more stuff that keeps coming out that keeps dragging Kick's name down further into the depths. It's wild. In that case, does Kick even know who they are signing half the time? That's a great example, right? Like, do they know who they're signing? Do they even care who they're signing? Or are they just trying to throw out a ton of money, get as many people? We don't really care who they are, just get as many people over as possible. And there you go. If Kick never works out, it'll forever be known in history as the greatest marketing scheme for Stake. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, like it is a great marketing scheme for Stake. I've seen a lot of streamers who maybe didn't stream gambling content now start to do gambling content over here on Kick, right? Because a lot of people, it's gambling is in the fad, right? It's in the you know, the most popular stages right now. Hey, you're a cool kid if you go gamble. It's like that's kind of like the direction of where Kick is. I mean, I gotta admit, there's not that many streamers that don't gamble, or at least, like, you know, fairly decent sized streamers. There's not that many that don't gamble or don't have a stake deal or whatever. Um, and it's kind of just like, you know, yes, some of it's the creator choice. You know, for like the smaller creators, creator choice. If I want a gamble deal, I'll send an email out, right? Send an email out to Stake, you know, if I want a gamble deal, and maybe be able to get one. Who knows, right? Who knows? Well, I wouldn't be able to, but you know, like, who knows, right? Who knows? So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird. I suspect some creators are being enticed to gamble. I mean, it's definitely in the meta, right? For sure. And it's been in the meta for a long time. Not to mention most of their big promo of Kick and Stake logos together. Yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, go look at the F1 car. Go look at the F1 car. It's sick. It's insane. It's Kick branded. It's Kick color schemed. A couple spots of Kick logo on it, and then Stake on it as well. But it's classified as the Stake F1 car, but it's color schemed as Kick, and it's got both Kick and Stake branding on it. Uh yeah. I mean, it's a cool car, right? It's a cool car. I mean, I like the color scheme on it. It's really slick and clean and stuff. But yeah, it does not help. It does not help anything, man. Not to mention, if you go to the gambling section, there's barely any other gambling slash casino platforms the site being streamed besides Stake. Oh, right. And that's the thing, though, right? That's the thing, though. Stake wants to be the monopoly on the platform, right? And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to say, like, a Kick would probably help, to be honest. I mean, again, if you want to get a hold of Stake and get a Stake deal, if you have another deal, Stake will compete, right? Stake will compete. Stake wants to be the monopoly on Kick. They don't really want other gambling websites on the platform. Stake wants to be the monopoly. So if you have a deal with somebody else, if you contact Stake, Stake might buy you out, right? And that way there you just do Stake only, right? Stake wants to be the main thing as Kick, and not to mention Kick and Stake is tied together, right? So in a couple ways. So because of that, obviously Stake wants to be the monopoly. So, you know, Stake winning at the end of the day. Oh yeah, no, Stake is just winning at the end of the day, 100%, man. And I would definitely say they've probably gained a lot of traction. They've gotten a lot of people from Kick, I would say. Obviously not a ton, but I would say definitely they've increased. Like I said before, Kick will forever be perceived as a bad platform. I agree. True, but specifically Twitch fans hate on Kick even more. I mean, yeah, Twitch fans, but I mean, like, even outside people have no idea what they're doing and they don't do their own research at all into a problem. They read the headlines from Jake Lucky, Dexerto, or whatever, and that is the word of God. Okay, that's the word of God. They believe that with all their might. So that's like the other side of the story too here, right? Will they bring in the most toxic streamers? This will happen for sure. Oh yeah. Not to mention, yeah, some of the most toxic streamers in the entire world, I would say, are on Kick, and so that brings in the very wild stuff as well, right? So, 100%. Yo, dude, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. They're trying to be like Xbox right now, buy studios / devs instead to grow them in house to make exclusive games. Change it to their buying streamers to build up their site instead of growing the ones already here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Kick pushing quantity over quality. Fat fingers this morning. Yeah, quantity over quality. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, let's be honest here, right? I mean, look at the quantity of streamers on Kick. There's a good amount of streamers. Look at the quantity of viewers. There's not a lot. Look at the quality of the platform. Look at the quality of the product. We're a little bare bones, right? We're a little bare bones right now on the quality of the product. You know what I'm saying? And communication. Let's just say the quality of the communication is bare bones. We don't know. We like develop, especially now when it comes to like the programs like the KCIP program and stuff like that. I will say we got a good part from Andrew, right? We got a good amount of stuff from Andrew. A decent amount on like that side of stuff. Okay, a decent amount. But from the development side, which is in my opinion a major part of the platform right now and a lot of stuff, zero. I mean, there's zero. None. We don't have nothing. We don't know what's going on with 2.0, man. Again, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. We don't even know if 2.0 is actually being worked on. Like I said, companies will do that sometimes, especially smaller companies. Will say, "Oh yeah, we're working on this," but in all reality, they don't have the right person for the job to work on it. So 2.0 might not be getting developed. Now, obviously, I hope that's wrong, and I'm assuming that's wrong, hopefully. But that'd be terrible, right? That'd be terrible. But who knows? At the end of the day, like I said, we don't have communication, so we don't know. We have no idea. If you owned a gambling site and Twitch isn't allowing it anymore, why wouldn't you want your own platform to do whatever? Right, exactly. Yeah, from Stake's point of view, Kick taking over, being the monopoly of gambling on Kick, that's a great move. That is a great move from them, for sure. And this is why Kick will never reach 51% of English-speaking viewership by April 2024. Here's the thing. The only way that Kick would reach 51% English viewership by April 2024 is a couple things. One, they buy almost every single English streamer. Okay, one. Second of all, they have them all go live at the exact same time. And then they can say, oh, hey, look, we hit 51% for like an hour. And then all those streamers just went live on Twitch again. Yeah, so that's like the only way that would really happen, to be honest, right? Imagine if 2.0 is a lie. See, I don't think 2.0 is a lie. If it was a lie, I mean, Kick would... Oh my God, bro. Kick would be under some heavy... It would be really bad. I don't think it's a lie, but at the end of the day, we don't know if it's even like being developed right now. It's been in development for I mean, almost a year, I would say now, for sure. So... Twitch allows it to a certain extent, actually, just not Stake. True. I need some of the Eddie's babies. You guys got a brain on him. Yeah. It's bare bones. The video player is good, at least. Well, yeah, the video player is pretty good, of course, right? The video player is literally IVS from Amazon. It's the same video player as Twitch, right? So if Twitch streams go down the video player, then Kick streams go down typically, right? Not very common, but it does happen very rarely. So it's kind of the same story here, right? It's kind of the same story here, basically. So, no, I know. Just saying, imagine like it was all a lie to get us here. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Imagine that'd be terrible. The only thing that we do see updates on is the mobile app. balls. The mobile app is the only thing that we really do see updates on. Um, the website, like the main core of the platform, the main website, uh, not really. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. The latest update has been, you know, the KCIP program, which again, what I was told was supposed to come out in 2.0, right? The KCIP program was supposed to launch in 2.0, and obviously that did not happen. So what the heck's going on here, right? We don't know. Imagine if 2.0 is for the app and the browser, they just let it rot. No, you want to talk about the mobile app? The mobile app on iOS and Android is already 2.0. It is already 2.0. If you go do like go back in like way old kick streaming news, the app is already version 2.0. They made a whole animation for it and posted it on Twitter and stuff like that too. So it is already 2.0. What's up? Yo, what up, Slice Spy? But there you go. I figured I would throw that out here because this is wild. This is again bad look for kick again here. It's bad.